welcome back to the Calgary Tech Talk podcast. My name is Stuart Crawford, and it's great to be here every couple weeks, every few weeks with you folks. And with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, Carl Fransen of the CTech Consulting Group. Carl, bring us up to speed over the last 2 weeks. What's going on?
Hey, everybody. Man, it has been a wild ride here at CTech for the past couple of weeks or so. We had nothing but opportunities disguise themselves as challenges. So we have been digging through our core skill set and trying to figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work. And we're finding the stuff that we did actually, pre-COVID is not going to work in the new normal, the new
normal.
I'm gonna save that and kept it in a WAV file and actually have that as my starting screen whenever Windows starts
Every
up.
time I call you on the phone, you can have the new normal.
Oh man, that'll freak my wife out pretty badly. I'm like, what, dude? It's a tech thing, okay? But yeah, it has been a wild ride. We are redoing our products. First off, we're trying to guess what's going to happen like 3-4 months from now. What do our clients need? What do businesses actually want? And in what way do they want them to be delivered? So even though we're still technically a small medium-sized company, doing a massive overhaul for your infrastructure and changing your product set around is a daunting task. And yeah, I'm working 8-12 hours a day sometimes, just trying to make sure that we're going to be ready for the new normal.
Is it really work though, Carl, if you love what you do?
Oh wow, yeah, good call, man. Yeah, I just want to wake up early to start work. Yeah,
because I get up early most days, weekends, Sundays, and I'm, my Saturday projects now are creating websites like the CalgaryNewsroom.com.
That was an awesome website, by the way.
And doing stuff like that, and that's not work. That's just my passion for trying to find new ways to get great companies like you more business.
You know what it is basically? Now that I'm working from home almost exclusively, I wake up 6:45 and I'm basically on my laptop working by 7 o'clock. And I usually kick it around 6-7 o'clock at night. And one of my passions right now is being able to build something from nothing, to try to conceptualize an idea and actually make it a reality. And over the past 20 years of CTech, I've gotten really good at that, in my opinion, that is. So it's not really that difficult for me to do so. But again, it's just a lot of work. And I've artificially put a sense of urgency on this because I don't want to be complacent right now, because if I do, the amount of work, the amount of opportunities lost in the next couple months or so is going to be phenomenal. And I want to be one of the companies out there that is able to identify that, hey, I've got this opportunity right here. I'm ready for it. I can capitalize on it. You do the same thing, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm always thinking about what the future offers, right? I mean, I can tell you presently what I'm seeing is, in the tech world at least, is I'm starting to see a return to projects. A lot of people I work with are saying that their projects that were put on hold at the beginning of COVID-19 are now starting to come through, and people are actually starting to move. So that tells me a couple things. I can tell you with almost certainty that it's not the COVID going away, but I think there's a certain level of acceptance that this is here now.
I think you're mostly right in that aspect, because our project have slowly started to increase as well. Now that the second wave is here, and we've released a lot of the restrictions that have put us basically more into a deep freeze, anything that needed to get done that couldn't wait is being done right now. And in fact, just to help out our clients here at CTech, is that we institute a deferred billing payment plan, which means that we'll do the work right now, but we're not going to charge you for it. You just basically buy the hardware and the subscription, and after that, we're going to wait 2, 3, 4 months until we actually give you the invoice to give our clients the best chance of surviving this COVID reality. And I think it's also a real kind of cool outreach that CTech is doing right now that we're saying, you know what, we're in the same boat you are. We grow if you grow, and if you sink, we sink with you. So let us be that partner that actually is going to maintain you guys for the longer term. And yeah, if I don't get paid, I lose all my service revenue that I might get. But now the government is paying for my techs with SUS, the Canadian Emergency Wage Subsidy. I can afford it for a while. So just basically try and be empathetic and try to do the right thing for your clients, make them into your partners.
So, Carl, one of the things we spoke about was, and I can't remember the exact terminology that you used, but we have the new normal,
New normal.
and then we have the what did you say? We had the COVID wave, and now we have the
Uh,
what was the
you know
terminology
what?
that you used again?
I call it the second economic wave.
The
That's coming
second
in.
economic wave. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, and I really do a lot of thinking, and I really try to put my pulse to actually what's out there. And one thing that I'm noticing is that when COVID first hit, it caused an economic wave right now where we hit a deep freeze. Businesses basically shut down. The wage subsidy kicked in. The government gave us a $40,000 loan. The rent subsidy as well too kicked in for those landlords who decided to have it, and that created an economic reality. A lot of people suffered from that. A lot of people were put on hold, and the very few people that were able to adapt and survive, we actually made a small profit, and we actually are able to balance a few things. Now that stage two is here, I'm predicting a second economic reality that is going to be hitting Canada in the next probably 2 to 3 months. Now, see if you can follow along with my logic.
I'm
And
trying. Yep.
yeah, and also love you poke holes into it if you can. That makes for a great discussion.
Go ahead.
Small businesses that have overhead, such as restaurants or um, like anyone that has overhead, such as hotels, restaurants, any small businesses, storefronts, shops. They dug into that $40,000 loan. Thank you, government. That was great. Thank you. But now that loan is slowly being whittled down over time till the loan is not there anymore. But the thing is, now that they're starting back up, they're not starting back up at 100%. They're starting back up at 10%, 15, 20%. What if you had a small coffee shop with a small storefront? You're allowed to put one or two tables outside and maybe every second table. And even with people not coming out, and then on top of that, you reduce capacity to serve, I'm expecting that your revenues will be down probably by 75%, roughly. But then reality kicks in. You just took out a $40,000 loan that is basically going away right now. Your business is slowly coming up, and your overhead costs are staying static. Sure, we got the SUS, the Canadian Emergency Wage Subsidy. That's now on a sliding scale right now, so we're not going to get all that we can if your business is still surviving. But what if you had that big, massive overhead and depended upon a transactional business and have minimal number of employees? You basically fell through the cracks. So, long story short, is that pretty soon they got to pay back that $40,000 loan. Those who didn't need the loan are going to take out the loan anyway. Take it, pay it back, get your $10,000. Yay. But the other small businesses that make up the majority of Canada right now that have the most GDP offering, I'm predicting it's to be a rash of bankruptcies happening probably up to 6 months from now because they will not be able to survive. And now the big firms, sure, they get some bailouts from the government because they're too big to fail. But the small ones, the ones that we stand on to support our economy, to support the medium and support the smaller number of larger companies, it's gonna be rough out there. So the
But, but Carl, isn't that normal economic cycle? I mean, it's kind of like lighting a forest fire to clear the brush intentionally.
I talked to my wife this morning and I explained to her that this concept, and I likened it to the Jurassic period when the big meteor hit just outside Mexico, and you have the apex predators like like the T Rex, and then their buffet of all stuff that you can eat like the Brontosaurus whatever sort of thing, and even though
I
they
can go with a Brontosaurus burger right now. Wait,
well,
there's my immaturity coming out.
I love it, man.
Carry on.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And they didn't survive that well because they weren't designed in the way to radically adapt to this new environment. A corporation like CTech, we're the mammals. We are the little furry guys out there that are warm blooded that were able to not be dependent upon like a big storefront, or we didn't need a big office space. We don't need to drive our cars downtown. We don't have a lot of we don't have next to any administrative overhead. So, taking that analogy, even though that meteor has hit, COVID has hit, the businesses out there, even the small reptiles, even the larger ones, the small businesses and larger businesses that can adapt to this new reality that quickly are going to be decimated. And right now, for sure, yeah, the government's giving you some handouts. It's not going to last forever. And guess what? That stuff is taxable in the long run. So it's going to and it's going to produce, in my opinion, a massive economic shift to saying, all right, here's how we can now survive post COVID. And it's not going to be basically building those big skyscrapers anymore. It's not going to have a lot of staff going to offices and and sharing a drink amongst a water cooler. It's going to be more like this. It's going to be, what's that? Well, my light bulb's behind me, but it's going to be more modern workplace. Bring your own BYOD, bring your own desktop, bring your own device. So, but the thing is, how do people actually get ready for? And now, if only if my prediction is true, that is, how can a business like CTech or yours be ready for this to try to make it or capitalize on it and help people out?
So that's it. That leads to a great discussion. And I don't know if we'll have time today on today's program to do it, but what we can definitely carry on future ones is I get where you're coming from with that, but here's some of the reality that I'm seeing is that when you introduce, I'm trying to get my thoughts here. Here's what I see. With certain individuals working in this modern workplace, they'll thrive.
Yeah.
But what about the uh, what's the polite parental, the all ages definition I can use
Use my
for
dinosaur
this?
analogy. The
You know,
dinosaurs, the ones who basically can't adapt to the new modern workplace,
they become extinct.
they become extinct. Yes,
No,
and that
but
right there,
I'm not talking business. So I'm talking about the at the employee level,
yeah, like the employee that basically needs to be driven to an office and having a manager
or
stand
just
over.
driven to do something in general.
Yeah, exactly. It's like KPIs right here can only basically do so much. Like you gotta do this, this, and this, and this, and we'll watch your progress and make sure you're on track. Some people aren't mentally cut out for that. Like, you know why a lot of people become techs? The type of people? They're introverts. They're the geeks. They have not the best social skills potentially. English is hard for them, so they become techs, and they're going to thrive in this environment. But what if we have an extrovert, a socialite, that loves putting on the new clothes and the new styles and actually walking into the office, and that basically starts their day off and interacting live with people? we there's gonna be a fundamental shift that those people with those skill sets and though that mindset are not gonna be as relevant, or they need to be able to change themselves to become more like this, the more modern workplace, the more virtual perhaps, and still be asked to produce. It's a massive mind shift right here. So yeah, employee level is going to hit. The corporate level, is going to hit. And how about this? What if the leaders of the corporations can't adapt? That's also another hit. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm living through it right now.
Yep.
I got a
Now,
couple people that are superstars. I will never ever have them come back in the office.
mhm.
And I got some people that I think it's time to take them back to you know, the daycare and make sure they're on constant supervision.
Yeah, and you know what? I have staff as well that said, all right, here is our new direction. Here's how we're going to go for it. And I got guys with 15, 20, 25 years of experience that just aren't jumping on with the program. They are having difficulty understanding that the new technology is actually out there, and they have a massive amount of technical background in the past that they relied on to get them through. And when I look at those guys saying, you know what, I'm opening doors for you. I'm offering you the ability for you to actually to try the new tech, get good at it, and walk with CTech to give this to the world to make the world a better place. Yeah, and yeah, employee level, boss level, corporation level, it's all going to be there. So we're right now at CTech trying extremely hard to try to predict the future and engineer a solution for it and to remain relevant today. And right now, as a bunch of best guesses and educated choices, and it's still murky though. It's slowly going to become more and more clear as we get closer to every one of those milestones. When Suze runs out, um, when the COVID or stage 3 happens right here, and as long as we keep adjusting CTech or you adjusting your course to take in that reality, but do the work now. Get that artificial sense of urgency. And I also talked to one of my dearest friends. He's actually my banker, and I said, you know what? The grass isn't greener on the other side. I could be on the complete other side where I'm shut down, and I have no staff that can pay. I've got no work that's coming in, and I've been 100% COVIDed, and I'm basically have a big honeydew list, work at home, and just do whatever.
Is that a new term, coveted?
Yeah, yeah, along with COVIDiot.
Covidian? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I posted that one a couple months ago. Don't be a COVIDiot. Wear your mask. Come on, seriously. Follow the science. That's my stance right now. But yeah, being COVIDed, being a COVIDiot, like yeah, and I'd rather be the guy that's working hard right now, trying to figure things out, try to engineering a better future, and trying to yeah make the most of it while I can.
Yeah, so good insights, Carl. As per normal, or as per the new normal.
New normal.
All right, so let's shift gears and let's get a little bit over the doom and gloom and the preparations for the future, or whatever we want to look at. What's on the weekend agenda for you this weekend?
This weekend, well,
Because it's hard to believe
uh,
it's Friday already.
it is. We had a long weekend last Monday, thank goodness. Oh man, having a 3-day weekend, it was like, oh, fantastic.
Yeah, us guys here
So
in the U.S. work, by the way.
come to Canada. Things are better out here. Less
Yeah,
COVID.
I trust me,
Yeah,
it's on our highly considering list now.
good, good. You're always welcome back to your motherland here.
Yes,
But this
exactly.
but this weekend, we are going out hiking because that's one of the few sports that we can do, stretch our legs a little bit, that we can easily social distance. And we have a small group of, I think, no more than 15 people. That includes like everyone. And we may have a small deck party with our trusted group of people. So maybe around 4 or 5 people come over to our house and have a party on our deck. But
Well,
again, share social distance apart.
for me, well, now that the Flames have beat the Jets and the Flames have moved on to the next round of
It's just
the
natural.
Stanley Cup playoffs, and hopefully tonight my beloved Maple Leafs uh, rebound after the collapse they had last night. They were up 3-0 and lost in overtime 4-3. How the heck do you do that?
Overtime
Well,
for
I can
wow.
tell you, it's just Toronto's way of doing things. That's my agenda.
Good.
Hockey this
Well,
weekend. Hockey, sitting there 95 degrees Fahrenheit watching hockey in the middle of the summer. This seems really, really odd.
I gotta get out. I gotta get out of these four walls right here. And in fact, I think our next Calgary Tech Talk time, I'll be at a new location, kind of showing the world that you don't have to basically do your work indoors or even have to drive to a park. There's other places where you can go that you can be just as effective working, but take advantage of the modern
I do want
workplace.
to see I do want to see the background of Kananaskis country. I'm still
I'm
waiting
sure
for that day to come where we're doing the podcast recording from K country.
that will happen. Yeah, just basically got to get there during work times, then drive back home.
Exactly. So, Carl,
Yeah.
great having you on the program again. As always, ctechgroup.ca is the website. Go and check it out. Learn lots of great stuff that Carl's got on the go. Um, we'll see you guys all in another couple weeks. We kind of narrowed this down to once every 2 weeks. We're getting kind of figured out what we want to talk about every week because it'll get to be a little bit harder. Plus, we have jobs to do.
I got work to do. I got to basically figure out how to save. So I got to basically make sure CTech doesn't get COVIDed.
COVIDed. There you go. Carl, as
Yes.
always, a great pleasure. We will see you guys again in a couple weeks.
Look for it. Take care, sir. Take care, everyone.
Make sure you check out our new website at calgarynewsroom.com.
Love it. Already there.
Shameless plug. Talk to y'all later.
Bye, everyone.